Hi, I'm Chuck Garcia with the next installment for Latin Business Today's Customer Acquisition and Retention. And what I've been writing about in the last several weeks are principles taken from my career Bible called How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by Dale Carnegie in 1936. And today we're going to focus on two of them. But before I introduce them, I want to just put you into a particular place. That could be the car. And what happens in the car is you turn on the radio, and what do you hear? Advertisements. Now put yourself in another place. Turn on the television. And unless you're watching a streamer with no commercial interruptions, you are without question. And on network TV, you're going to see advertisements. Whether you hear them or whether you see them, interesting part is there are some that you're going to actually like. And the question is, from the ones that you like, what can we learn from them? Because the advertisers are pretty smart people. They have worked very hard to be able to sell you what they want to sell you, but they don't always make you feel that way. The great advertisers of the world have completely flipped the model, and rather than trying to sell you something, they actually putting a lot of information out there in the hope that you will buy it. And there's a big distinction between selling somebody and having somebody pull the trigger on a buy decision. And what Dale Carnegie talks about, winning friends and influence people, are the two techniques that I want to feature today that bear a lot of resemblance to what we learn from the world's best television and radio commercials. And the first one, pretty simple principle, but we have to remind ourselves it's called being genuinely interested in other people. In other words, instead of me as the advertiser talking about all my features and functions, how great they are, what advertisers try to do is to relate to you specifically, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. They may not always be able to land it from the medium of TV and radio, but it's a very similar concept. And Carnegie says, when you are trying to win customers, don't just take the first part of what you hear in the features and functions. Go way beyond that. In fact, start in a different place. Instead of telling them how great you are, find out how great they are. Begin to ask them questions about themselves. Be genuinely interested in their life. Pay attention to them. They really appreciate that. So bear that in mind when you are looking to acquire a customer and you begin to speak. Hold back on your features. Get acquainted with them. Get to know them. Speak to them in ways that are going to make them feel like they want to buy what you're selling. And the simple technique is start by genuinely expressing your interest in them. And the second part is the modern day powerful technique called vulnerability. People really relate to you when you don't just tell them all the powerful things and great things you've done. Tell them about the mistakes that you've made. Tell them about all the lessons that you've learned. All the times you screwed up. Brene Brown, the great TED talker, talks about in her books the power of vulnerability. And you can choose comfort or you can choose courage. But if you choose courage, you're going to show vulnerability and you're going to make mistakes along the way. People love that. They relate to it. They see themselves in that. And if that's the approach you take when winning customers, if you're going to solve somebody's problems, don't just tell them all the solutions. Tell a story for the problem that you had, the mistake that you made, how you used this product to overcome that. And even though there may have been a litany of errors and things you did wrong, what did you learn to do right? When people hear you speaking about your mistakes, let it be. It's a wonderful technique that ultimately turns that power of vulnerability into the power of how to acquire customers and keep them. So thank you for tuning in to the Latin Business Today series on how to win friends and influence people. I was delighted to bring you these two principles today. Thank you very much for your time, for listening to this and for reading. And I wish you continued success in your business and happy holidays.